Hey everybody, in this step we're going to be making a door that rotates instead of sliding up and down like our doors currently do. So what we need to do to start is find a dungeon gate in one of our scenes. I think the arch door works best for this, so I don't want to use a different game object. You're welcome to try to use something else, but I have a feeling that the arch door is probably going to work the best. We're going to select the arch door and then hold Control or Command D to duplicate it, and then we're going to move this object so it's no longer a child of the dungeon gate. We're also going to want to set this Z rotation here to 0. And then move it off of our dungeon gate so it's got its own space here. And then we're going to remove all these components by hitting the 3 dots and hitting remove component. We're going to remove the audio source, the box collider, and the door controller, leaving the mesh filter, mesh renderer, and mesh collider. Next up, we're going to right click and hit create empty right on the door there. And we're going to name this rotating door, just like that. Move that out so it's no longer a child. And then we're going to give that an X rotation of 0 so it's upright. We also want to make sure we set scale here to 1, 1, 1 so that there's no funky scaling going on. And then finally, we'll make arch door a child of rotating door. Now what we can do is we need to add a box collider first. So we're going to hit add component and type box to get that box collider. We're going to set the center to -2, our X size to 4, our Y size to 5, and our Z size to 6. You should see this box kind of covering the whole door now. Then what we're going to do is go to our resources folder, go to scripts, and created. We're going to right click, go to create, C# script, and name it rotating door, just like that. And we're just going to select rotating door and attach the script by dragging it to the right here in the inspector. Go ahead and open up that rotating door script. Give Visual Studio the time it needs to load. We can delete void start and void update. Let me zoom in a little bit. Delete those two. We're going to start with 2 variables, a public transform door transform, and a bool is open, and set that equal to false. I'm then going to add what's called a coroutine by typing I enumerator with a capital I and E, move door, and then in parentheses bool open, and then curly brackets there. We will say float desired angle equals open and then question mark 90 colon, so not semicolon, hold shift while you press the semicolon key, -90 and then semicolon. So this is a bit of a complicated thing. We don't use them very often, but in this case, it's the easiest way to do what we're trying to do here, which is to say for this desired angle variable, we want to set it to 90 if open is true, or -90 if open is false. So the question mark and the colon is basically the same thing as us writing an if statement and changing the variables with the if statement. So this is just a shorter way to type it, and it makes our lives a little bit easier as programmers. Next, we're going to say float stop time is equal to time.time plus 1f. So it's going to tell our coroutine that, hey, when we have gone 1 second into the future, we want to stop the code here. Now we're going to say while time.time is less than stop time. So while we are less than that 1 second in the future, we want to say door transform dot rotate, and then we say vector3 dot up comma desired angle times time.delta time, and then comma space with a capital S dot world. So what that's telling our door transform is we want it to rotate along the y-axis, so that's spinning kind of left and right. We want to rotate 90 degrees over 1 second, and we want that to be relative to the world space. So if our door is at a weird rotation, it won't be affected. The rotation that we're applying here will work just fine. Then we want to say yield return new, wait for end of frame, and then open and close parentheses, and then a semicolon. Now, outside of our move door enumerator, we're just going to say public void open door, and then open and close parentheses. We're going to say if, and then in parentheses exclamation point is open, which is that Boolean variable. We're going to start coroutine, move door, and then in parentheses true. So that's telling it we want to open the door. And then we're going to set is open equal to true. So that means we know our door is open. Now we're just going to highlight this whole piece here, this public void open door with its curly brackets. Highlight it, press Control or Command C, give ourselves some space, and then press Control or Command V to paste it. We're going to delete the exclamation point. We're going to rename open door to closed door. We're going to set move door false, and we're going to set is open to false. Go. Last thing we need to do is step down below closed door and say private void on trigger enter. We say if other.tag equals to player in quotation marks. We open door, and then we can copy and paste this method here, the whole thing with the curly brackets. And we can say if other.tag equals player, then close door. We also need to change enter here to exit. And there we go. That should handle the script. So once you've got that done, go ahead and save it. Head back over to Unity and select your rotating door. There we go. And all we need to do now is drag the arch door transform into here and then make a prefab out of our rotating door. So in the environments prefab folder, we drag rotating door down into there. Once you've got all that done, go ahead and save your scene. You can do your check setup here within your base scene and then go place that rotating door anywhere in one of your dungeon levels.